Brush with Artists for Arts Talk PH. So, on this episode, we're going to switch things up. We're actually going to have a lot of our artists, thank you, who are going to be interviewing us this time. So, my name's Camille. I'm the brand boss of Arts Talk. And we're going to switch it over to the rest of the team, Fabrienne and Mary, as well as our amazing artists who will introduce themselves in just 1 second. Thank you for being here. Q, Mary.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Please introduce yourself.
Sino? Which?
Well,
Everyone. Let's start from si Mary muna kasi number one. One.
Okay. Hi, I'm one. Thanks for having us tonight. We're gonna switch things up tonight. The tables will turn kasi kami na yung magtatanong sa inyo tonight. So, I'll introduce who is this? Si Mara pala. Mara will ask the first question.
introduce muna natin yung iba before anything else.
Okay, so, naman.
So I'm Woman Create. Yeah, so that's it. I'm Woman Create. I'm one of the artists and we'll be interviewing these lovely queens. Yes. All right. Next, Mara.
And I'm Mara, and same. Same.
And same.
Okay, so I'm Mary. I'm Mary Manzano. I'm the Chief Imagineer of Artstock PH. I'm usually the person welcoming you guys every week. So I'm really happy that all has been taken from me today. So I'm like relaxing today.
Hey everyone, I am Fabrienne and I'm the Chief Curator at Artstock PH. And thank you to our super awesome artists. By the way, check out their artwork. They're part of our current exhibit, Hindsight is 2020. So check it out. Go to our platform, artstockph.com. Okay, take it over.
Okay, to start off, we have Mara to ask the first question.
Kinakabahan ako.
Pag may questions,
Chill.
we have like 5,000 people right now. So we're probably going to be adding a lot more. If you have any questions, just enter the comment box below or on the side. Hello to everybody and welcome again. And don't be afraid, just ask the questions. The questions are not for the artists today, but the questions are for us, for me, Pam, and Fab, who are running Artstock PH. And what else do we have? Currently, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. We're supposed to be live on LinkedIn, pero nagka-error sa LinkedIn. All right, si Mara, we do have questions from Mara. Take it away.
Okay, so to start, can all of you tell us a bit about your preferences on like what are your favorite like kinds of artworks, artists? Do you have like preferences in terms of style, or do you look for certain elements in works, like you like color, you like abstract art, and particularly kay Fab, I'd want to know your point of view as a curator. Like, what do you look for in different artists? So,
Okay.
anybody?
I'll start. Okay, I'll start. So, in the past, I've been really drawn to colors, like really like bright, colorful pieces. But then eventually it developed into something else. So now what I'm looking for is actually the signature visual style of artists. So it doesn't matter now if it's abstract, if it's if it's a portrait style. It doesn't matter as long as the signature style of the artist is very visible, it's very unique, and the artist can sort of, develop from it. Kaya niyang iba-ibahin, even if they stay true to the visual style. Yun. That's what I'm drawn to, right? now?
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank
for
you for that
me,
beautiful question.
yeah, it's a really good question.
Wow.
So I don't know that much about art. I just know things that I like and I don't like. But for the things that I do like, I love art that has um, a lot of details. Like I really respect artists who pay a lot of like attention to detail, and even just like the minute tiniest strokes that add something amazing to the art. I really respect that. And aside from that, I just love art that talks, like has a message but isn't trying too hard to be like, this is my message, you should hear me. Just art that like is really just parang if it's a person, it's so nice to just have a person be themselves. And that's the type
Yeah,
of art that I like, if that makes sense.
it made sense.
It does. It resonates with me too. It's almost it's the same with me. I like art that's effortless, that doesn't try too hard. I
Yeah.
like art that is because for me, I've liked artworks that are different, like from different spectrums, both from abstract and realist. But I do enjoy looking at art that I know the artist spent so much time on, but the artwork itself looks like it's effortless, but you know that behind that artwork, there's so much work that was put into it before it became like that. And also the stories, I collect stories.
Yeah.
So I like art that has a story, and even the artist, if the artist has a story around that art, that really always kind of blows my mind every time. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, so next, can you talk a bit about what it was like setting up a business while under quarantine? So
I think
that's all the
Mary,
details.
Mary, Mary should answer this.
Oh yeah.
Mary,
So
yeah. Oh, Mary.
it's more for me. It wasn't because it was quarantine. It was setting up a business is challenging in and of itself in any situation. But I think in quarantine, what we had to think about was delivery, how we're going to be doing the delivery of the content and the products, how we're going to think about meeting with each other. Because usually, when you're setting up a business with people, you normally have lots and lots of meetings in order to get to the lunch. And in this case, we couldn't even see each other. So that was one of the most challenging pieces of setting up the business. Like I had to talk to Fab, where is Fab? I had to talk to Cam, where is Cam? Cam is looking for Fab, Cam is looking for me. And we all had different things happening in our lives too. So that was the most challenging part. But other than that, the rest of it, those are things that I already can do. Registering and all of that, setting up done. So that's something that I already do anyway. So the technical part also, I'm good with. It was the coordination that was the hardest.
For me, it was pretty good. Setting up a business during quarantine is a really good idea because you have no other fucking choice. Sorry. Kasi if you're not able to do it, if you're not able to do it, then what are you doing, right? I mean, I think it's the best time to actually like have something and put something together, even if other people are being really sad. Hi, Rick. But aside from that, it's also really cool. Like having Mary on board made our lives so much easier because she's really good at all the registration stuff. So processes, um, I'm very good at processes. Mary is very good at processes. Fab is our network and key curator, heart of the business. She's really the heart and soul. And
Wow.
Yeah,
then yeah, no, that's true. And yeah, so it was pretty fun setting everything up.
I agree.
Then
I think as an idea, it was good, but without this was an idea that was there for a long time before it really happened. So it was there for like 3 months before we
Yeah.
can actually make it happen. And quarantine was able to make it happen. If not for the quarantine, we couldn't have made it happen because
Because we'd have jobs.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was the right opportunity to start this kind of job. I
Mm.
mean, kung some people, di ba, parang meron silang cafe, but then they had to stop kasi they got hit by the COVID. Pero kayo parang, yeah, it was the perfect opportunity, I guess. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Fab.
and at this
No, it
time, parang,
really was.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of artists are looking for ways to sell their works. Like, hala, like we can't exhibit anymore. So what do we do? So it's very helpful for us. So Fab, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, actually, like I was saying earlier, it was perfect timing. The idea has been there from Mary since last
Ayan,
year. So Mary would be attending our events before, all different artists, and she, basically learned that there is a gap, and eventually just decided to just do it. Okay, Mary's back.
I know. Yeah, it's really more like that. If not for the quarantine, and also like being able to provide something to people during quarantine is really really good. Something that they couldn't otherwise find. You can't find connection though. Usually, you can still find connection online, I think, but being able to provide that joy to people, that's really all about for us. Yun. O, diba? Ang Miss Universe.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that with us. And I'm gonna throw it over to Marika to Women Create.
All right. Hello.
Where
Okay. So after you've talked about how the
Yes.
business started, I wanted to ask, how do you see yourselves or Artstock PH in 5 years? Like, also, how do you think this advances the Philippine arts community or industry?
uh,
Well,
Interview pala
I
to.
hope you agree.
sige, una
Yeah.
tayo. Sino una? Fab?
Yeah. Sure.
Si Mary.
Go Fab.
Oo, madami plano.
Oh, me. Okay. Wow. Okay. Dami plano. Well, paano ba? Kasi right now, we are still building our brand, I would say. And we'd like to keep to our promise to keep filling in that gap that I mentioned earlier, which is to ensure that even with the quarantine, even with all of the shows being canceled, even if all of the art events are canceled, the artists still have a platform where they can exhibit, where they can list their art. And then at the same time, naloka kay Cam.
Sorry,
And
kinakabahan
at
ako
the same
eh.
time, the art buyers and art collectors will also be able to interact with the artists, select art, and buy art, all without having to leave their studios or their homes. So yun yung continuous na i-fulfill namin. So that's it for me for now. Mary, do you have anything to add to that?
Ako? Oh my God, I'm ambitious. Like, I have ambitions.
Dami.
Like, about sobrang dami ambitions about art stock. Like, of course, we start online and this is fulfilling a need at the moment. Pero in the future, of course, we would like a physical space. That would always be kind of the direction that we would go for at some point. I mean, maybe it may be viable, maybe it's not. We don't know how the virus is gonna go, but at the moment, that's kind of a dream for me that I really would like a physical space. Once in a while para makapag-exhibit. The other thing is that I would like to be able to ship globally. Like in 5 years, that's really where I want art stock to be, that we should be shipping globally. I would really want the Filipino artist to be known. That's really what this is all about. Like, you get the artist out there, you give them a platform, and then you give them a platform to be known, not just here in the Philippines, but globally. At the moment, we are just shipping in Metro Manila. Maybe in a few months, we'll be shipping nationwide. And then who knows what's going to happen. So it really depends on our supporters. So support us, guys. We need you.
Taray ng
Thank
shaping
you. Thank you for
nationwide.
buying our work, ganon.
Yeah. For
Sabi ni
me,
Chris,
I do
Okay.
have some. If it's pwede ba to answer?
Yeah, she just
go, Sam.
I'm so proud of our processes. We're still we're still, I think, making everything even more efficient. But I think with more time and because it's a learning process. But I think this is what's unique to our business is because we really want to make sure that the processes are smooth on all ends, and we're really trying our best to make it be scalable. So
Yeah.
from there, I want to have 1,000 artists on the website, you know, and
I
I want to
know.
be like when people are thinking about I want to buy art today, I'm gonna buy it from Artstock because the artists are amazing, but it's at the same time because it's easy and it's convenient and it's not gonna give you a headache. So
Mm.
that's how I wanna see it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think we spend a lot of time on the internal processes that we have because I think it's also good that I don't have any background at all in the art industry and how galleries actually work. And similarly, Cam doesn't have that as well. But we both do have a corporate background. And Fab, though, has experience in how galleries operate and would give us feedback on whether are we doing this right or not. But we're very iterative. We find that there are certain things that need to change. You know how it is. You look at an industry from the outside looking in, and then you see there are certain things that need changing, and you set out to do them. So basically, what we're doing is let's wait for somebody to do it, and then why don't we just do it? Diba? Why are we waiting for somebody else to do it? Let's just do it. And so we created a process that would fit us and that would fit the business at some point. If we have 1,000 artists, that the process that we laid out will still work. Dapat gumagana pa rin siya. So, now is the simple solutions are the hardest to think about. So, yun lang. Proud talaga kami doon. We're really proud of that process. Super.
Super. Masaya ba kayo sa process?
Dapat simple natin.
Kami, yes,
Survey.
we're happy.
Wait, you're asking us?
Yeah.
Yes, kasi it encourages na yung participation ng artist. It's not like parang nandyan lang kami, we're just waiting like nabenta na ba yung work ko or hindi. At least, we get to be involved somehow.
Yeah.
Yay.
Um,
Okay.
but-
Awesome. Because that's really the goal. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So my next question is about your work experience. Very HR, but I want you guys to share maybe a person slash group who you don't want to work with ever again and why. And okay, I know I said person, but you don't really need to name drop or group drop. But I guess you can share what happened. Like, why don't you want to work with the person? What was the experience? Why? Ayun. All right, take it away, anyone. Go.
Yeah.
The-
I'm trying
It's a very-
to fall through the.
Very hard
It's a very
question.
Fab?
yes.
Okay, Fab. Fab, ikaw naman muna.
Sige,
Hello?
kung sino na naman.
Marika, are you asking us if there's somebody in the industry that we don't want to work with or
I'm trying
somebody
to figure out.
in general?
Ano lang, general,
You
In
know
general.
what? Let's talk about the industry. Joke
in
lang.
general.
Yeah. Kayo bahala, kayo bahala. Kayo bahala. Hindi
I
naman
don't
kayo mag-name-drop.
experience for me to know who I would like to or not like to work with in the industry at the moment because I haven't really been exposed that much to the players. Maybe ask me in a year. I'll definitely tell you in a year who I would not like to work with because I would have more exposure then. But I have a few people that I never would like to would want to work with ever from my work experience before. Mamaya na. Si Fab, nawala si Fab. O, si
Internet.
Okay, well, let's save the best. Let's save the tea for last. The real,
Uh-uh.
ang ano. Anyway, Cam.
I can share. Yeah. Um, so I used to work events. So I've been working in events since 2006. Um, so there are definitely a lot of people I don't want to work with anymore ever in events, and I'm sure they feel the same way about me. And it's okay because sometimes, especially when it's very high, when it's very high stress, like I'm very my personality is very strong. So sometimes when I want to get things done, especially in Filipino culture, people are quite sensitive. So it's hard to get your message across without, and I don't like having to flower a lot of words. Oh, ano, blah blah blah, adjective, cause adjective. I'm not, hindi ko kaya. So with who exactly, I would rather not say, but definitely there are more good and amazing artists and workers here. Filipinos, we're so hardworking, and I think that's the good thing about the emotions part of it, and having to work with a lot of our kababayans. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
100,
Yeah.
ano, we've got 110 million people. Eh. So if I don't have to work with that one person anymore, I'll be happy. Di ba?
Stress kasi, diba? Nakaka-stress. It's
No,
just unnecessary stress.
it's
Where
not
is Fab?
necessary.
Okay.
No, wala si Fab. Eh. He must not be named. So if I have like a few he who must not be named, I will never work with them again. Like if I was siguro paid to work with them, I still might. I still might. I will try my best. But I'm going to have to sit them down again and just hash the whole thing. And this is the reason why I don't like you. I am. I'm gonna have to tell them first. Like, you know what? The last thing that we did work together. This is what you did to me, and I didn't appreciate that. So we have a project right now. We're gonna have to make it a success. So please don't screw me over, like, something like that. I might have to sit them down first and talk to them about it. Like Cam, I'm very confrontational. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Because
yeah, I would.
it's a waste of time to like have to beat around the bush. Just say what
Right.
you want to say, bro. And yes, I am adjective funny.
Hi, PJ. We've got some questions also,
Habang,
audience.
habang hintay natin si Fab,
Habang
would
wala si
like to
Fab.
ask if you guys have ever, clashed. I mean, kayong tatlo, you have like strong personalities. But meron ba kayong ganung moments?
Oo naman, normal naman yun.
Oo, kami pa. Ayun na si Fab.
Yes, welcome back. It's your turn, Fab.
Hi. I did not purposely avoid that question. It was my internet connection, ha?
Saved by the internet
Oh my
connection.
gosh, my
ganun.
internet connection.
Oh no.
She said internet. Okay.
All
Don't
right,
want
take
to
it away,
work.
Fab. It's all on you.
Have we clashed daw? Was the last question.
Yeah. Have you guys,
As a
Sagot
team.
yung ano. Hindi, she hasn't answered the who she doesn't want to work with in the industry. You have to answer that first. Who you don't want to work with in the industry anymore.
Okay.
You for you.
You don't need to name names. It's okay. Just
Maybe-
talk about the experience.
Yeah, maybe you can name na lang qualities. Like, why did you not want to work with this
Yeah,
person?
yeah.
Name.
On professionalism, then ethics.
Mhm.
Bakit? Ganyan.
traumatizing traumatizing.
Stand.
Pangit mo, ayaw kita katrabaho because you're ugly.
Yeah, that's a
Galing
really
yun?
I think nag-freeze talaga si Fam.
That is frozen.
Frozen.
No.
Okay, so
Baka she's talking. Okay, she's
Ayan.
out. Okay, my next question is, while no, we'll circle back to her. But the next question is, I guess, have any of you guys had an unpopular opinion or a clash of opinion with another curator or an artist? Yeah,
Of course.
even in general, like not just in the arts industry, but I guess siguro in the industries you've been in, like events, education, ganon.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like what were those opinions that you clashed about?
mm,
I'm in the, for those people who don't know, I work in the education sector. That means I don't teach kids, but I teach teachers technology. That's my other business. And there are so many popular opinions. Like, for example, some schools, and this I clash all the time. Some schools think that when they buy devices, ganyan, that they're already techie.
Mm.
And I get into their case whenever they do something like that and say, "Oh, but we already have iPads. We're techie." And then I just, nah, nah, you're not. So that's what happens, and it's very unpopular opinion sometimes, especially here in the Philippines. You don't do that, and as much as possible, you try to think about their feelings before you say anything like that. So I
Right.
find myself being able to work better with international schools over local schools because of that very unpopular opinion. But other than that, yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm happy to explain why I think so, why I think that this is not right. I'm happy to just explain my side, and as long as they're willing to listen, we should be good. Because I'm also willing to listen to their side. Yeah. And how about you, Cam?
Um, so usually my job is making things happen in a nutshell. And sorry, my cat's been wanting to go out, but I'm not wearing shorts. So that's not gonna happen. But anyway, my usually I clash a lot with um so in the events industry or in marketing or advertising, we usually have a lot of people who they dream very big,
Right.
and it's fantastic because you really do need those dreamers to pull off and create amazing stories, right? But as someone who does planning and strategy, a lot of the time, time are you? The way people want realistic. So that's always the struggle. And I think with any industry, as long as you're involved in execution, that's always our difficulty with the dreamers and the imagineers, because we have to make sure. Oh, wait lang, you're too far up.
Mm-mm.
Baba tayo konti. And that's usually the unpopular thing because it's my job to tell them no, sorry, that's not feasible. So I always get to trouble for that. But it's
Yeah.
okay because eventually we get to a compromise. Lahat naman, you just have to compromise,
Yeah.
and we create something awesome.
Right. Like we were able to find a middle ground. Like for example, me and Cam, we always clash about that because I want like things to be, oh, this has to be like this, oh, it has to be like that. I'm supposed to be the Imagineer here, right? And then Cam will go like, wait lang, wait lang.
Wait lang,
Ano ka?
meron bang time? Yun yung lagi kong tanong kay Mary, dami mong time? Di ba may
Oh,
tatlo kang business?
yeah. So that's usually what happens. Sobrang interested ko talaga to find out who Fab does not want to work with.
Right. We will get back to that question. No matter what, the stream will not end. But anyway, that's all the questions from me. So I'm gonna turn the mic over to Mary.
Okay, hi.
Maybe we can take some audience questions.
Oh,
I know
sige.
we have some, but I
yeah.
can't see them.
We've got this one. Hold on. We've got, we think you will expand the business beyond the Philippines. Well, I hope we can expand it to Australia, Chris. We're going to have to. I wish, I mean, Australia has such a vibrant art industry. Yes, I would like art stock to be there too. If that's the question, who doesn't want to expand their business beyond the Philippines? Come on, right? We dream big. Go big or go home. Next is that what are your dreams for art stock? I think we answered this already. And then we've got tell us your wild ambitions. Wild talaga.
From Australia to Africa, ganon. Learn the wild.
Or kahit hindi related to art stock.
I want people to buy our process. That's my wild ambition. I want people to be like, that's a really good process, and why didn't I think of that for my gallery and have that process applied to a lot of supply chains and a lot of interesting things, especially for the arts. Because I think with the arts industry and anything to do with creatives, um, I think we really need to be able to expand more, like structure wise, like to help people think more um, with regards to like how they can strategize and make it happen. So
Yeah.
I want to be the person, or I want Artstock to be the group that they come to and ask. I want people to go to the Artstock artists and then ask them, so how do you do this? And
Yeah.
we as a team can be able to be like, you know what, this is the best way. And
Yeah.
we thought of that as a collective.
To be an industry standard, yes. When it comes to process, that's really kind of a wild ambition, but especially since the art industry has been there for a long, long, long time. And again, I equate it to education industry where their system is broken. There's so much that needs to be fixed. And in the art industry as well, it's not as inclusive as you would like it to be. Like, and, not,
Yeah.
and even pricing art for women, for example, there's a big discrepancy around that. And those are things that the process can actually help solve.
Yeah.
And we feel, equalizing equity for everybody, equity for all artists, young and new and old and professional or amateur. That equity can be solved by a really good and streamlined process. Right. Let's see if Fab is now available to answer. Fab, can you just answer the last question now?
I really feel that my internet it is telling me to avoid that question.
I guess ano na lang, the traits of the experience. Like, why would you never work with a certain person again?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think how do I put it? Okay, so you know how the art industry can be really elitist, right? And like I'm also disappearing. So there are some people in the industry who would prefer to work with people who studied art, or people who basically came from specific schools, right? So me, on the other hand, I am a self-made art curator, and in the past I've had experiences wherein I was disrespected by certain individuals, and they made my life hell. I will not name drop, but I think the art industry should be more open, more inclusive. And there are a lot of artists now that are self made and are really making a name for the Philippines. So for me, I think I'd rather not work with them.
Wait, sorry, how did they disrespect you?
Alam ni 1111 yung story.
Alam ko doon. Alam ko
Ay,
doon.
alam ko rin. Gusto mo ako yung mag-name drop?
No, don't name drop!
No!
Yeah. Uy,
Like, they
uy,
talk
name
about
here. You suck.
We will tell it here, and then we will tell it here, and then we will go beep on the edited version.
No. Let's not cause a scandal. No.
No,
But yeah.
I'll tell you later.
So how did they disrespect
I
you,
will
Fab?
tell you later, Marika.
Sa backstage na lang.
Oh,
Ah.
is it like
Oo.
that? Raw levels? Oh no. Yeah. You have to change the industry. I like the idea of yung idea na parang yung regarding to the standards on processes. To be honest, art talk is
Very
such a smooth process for me.
um
Isn't sobrang wow.
it's
Salamat.
Ang
Thank you.
it's so easy to understand. It's so clear. It's so detailed. It's like, oh, okay. I don't always have to go to the curators for parang for cross-checking lang if I'm reading the thing, if I'm understanding what I'm reading right. So it's really sobrang ginhawa din sa amin, right?
Yay! Si Mara nga, datihan na yan eh. Like the second time we did it, ay, di alam ko na yan.
Yung first time, medyo nag-panic ako. But it's like, okay,
the
kaya na.
second time, hindi na. It was
Kaya na.
easier. Actually, the more that you do it, the easier it's gonna be. And like in any process. Oh, ano na? What's the next question? I'm waiting for the...
For Mary.
Ako
For
naman,
Mary.
so- Sige, siguro naisip ko na question, I mean, not all of you came from a, arts-related background. Pero, well, you look at art naman. So, meron bang art na parang you got inspired at first? Ano yung pinaka first art na-inspire kayo when you saw it? So, meron ba? Kung pwede rin local, pwede rin international,
Hmm.
Fab.
O, fact, na muna. Which...
Ay, ang hirap ng mirror yan.
okay.
I,
Sorry, the question is art that sparked inspiration, parang ganon, tama ba?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So I think it would be 2014 Piaget Martellino's solo exhibition that I went to before, and when I saw his solo exhibition, um, that's when I realized, okay, I really want to work in the art industry. Like I should pursue this. Yeah,
Wow.
definitely
Thank you.
that. Hi, Piaget, if you're watching. Piaget is stuck in California.
Oh,
It's
sige,
not a bad thing to be stuck in.
Oo nga eh.
Diba? At least they're able to go to the beach and, have some time off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ayan.
Yeah. Ako, for me, like the influence of art has always been there since the beginning. Like because of my mom. My mom painted when she was when I was a kid. I mean, she had never sold any of her art, but our life was like filled with a lot of the stuff that she made, and that always stuck with me. She used to say that, "Anak, don't be an artist or a writer kasi walang pera dyan." That's what she used to say. So, maging scientist ka, anak. Just, be a scientist, be an engineer. And so I stuck to the sciences and to the maths because of that. But I did realize later on, especially now, I realized later on that the creativity that was taught by her from the beginning really helped me, especially in the tech industry. Like when you're creative enough to make solutions, you can't make really good solutions without creativity. So that creativity that my mom gave me. On the art stock naman, what inspired me sa art stock was the photo that was posted by Fonz. So Fonz, if you're watching, it was a photo that was posted by Fonz of him picking up his artwork to take it home. And I was like, so he basically put the painting against a wall, and he said like, I'm taking these babies home and stuff. And I'm thinking, like, I think I asked you, Mary, at that time. I called you up, and I asked you, so what happens to an artwork after an exhibit if they were not sold? And then you told me that sometimes if they have a back room, right? They have a back room. It takes like 3 months, 2, 3 months, and then um, maybe it will get sold, and if it doesn't get sold, the artist has to take them home. And then what? And then bahala na si artist. Like the artist can promote it however he or she wants to be able to sell it. And I'm like, what? There is nothing at all that the industry provides to get the art out there, even artworks that are past the exhibit period. So that was kind of the clincher for me. When I thought about it, sabi ko, maybe we could build something around that. That was really the initial thought of art stock was based on that. Yun lang, life story.
Okay. Cam, have you been
For
to
me, it was really music because I'm not. I used to paint a lot when I was, especially when I was younger. But similar to Mary, my parents at the time, now they're more open to it. But at the time, it was mid 90s, or diba, parang it wasn't really like the arts wasn't as revered as it is now, which is really interesting because it changed so much in the last few years. But during that time, so I used to draw, like especially with my grandpa, but nothing like really, nothing major came out of it. My inspiration and creativity with arts was really through music more, and then for arts talk, so I started. I did Manila Binale as one of my events. So I was one of the project managers from that. Carlos and Tessa are very good friends. Hi Tessa, I hope you're watching. Um, and that really inspired me na parang, you know what, there's still, it was so amazing because there was so much, there was a lot of mixed reviews, to put it nicely, among the art industry when we decided to put it together, especially since um, some of us weren't really into that scene. So there were a lot of ganyan. Um, but then when we put it together, so many people came. So many people came. Like, um, even just the people who were living around Intramuros, like just even in the shanties, everyone came and everyone had a good time. Everyone hung out with each other. Little to no theft. Everyone actually like really just hung out and had a very nice, wholesome time. And from there, I've always just been looking for the opportunity to work in arts again. Um, and yeah, so thank you,
Yeah,
quarantine, for pushing us to finally do it on our own.
right.
Mm-mm.
Diba?
I'm here.
Okay. Ayan.
wow.
Uh,
Thanks for
we have
sharing.
one more here. Yeah, and how do you get inspired to create the art that you do? Since I don't really create art, so I can't. Well, I crochet. That's what I still consider crochet as art, but because it's complicated. I do complicated crochet. But for Fab, I think Fab you can answer that also. Um,
Um, siguro because you
Sorry,
guys
what's
are
the
the
question? How do
like
we get
how do you
inspired to
guys
create the art that we do?
get inspired to choose like which art is allowed to be like in art stock, parang ganon.
nice, good
Right.
question.
Where you,
But
but your art as a curator.
yeah, like why us?
So,
Why
actually,
us?
okay. So let's start with the idea
You,
of curation. We are actually not curating the art, we are curating the artists. So, um, you guys are the pioneer batch, and you are all handpicked by us. So, basically, our criteria is we prefer to work with artists who are open to collaborating. Number one, of course, there are things such as the brush with artists episode. So you have to be open to talk about your art. You have to be open to talk about all sorts of different things. You have to be open to show the world your art. That's number one criteria. And then number two, you have to have your distinct visual style. And I will keep telling this to everyone. If they're always parang asking, bakit siya nakapasok? Eto hindi, right? So all of you already have your signature visual style, and you're set with that. And every day you strive to develop it, and that's what we see in Yan, Mary.
Ayan, sige. Alright. It's time for, dapat may ganon.
Okay. Sayang wala si Sunshine.
Mary?
She's supposed to do this. She's supposed to do yung fast talk, but I guess we'll do it.
All right.
Yes.
Let's take turns.
Sige.
So we have to first introduce what it's all about, what it's all about, and why, and basically what we're going to be doing. So we're gonna be doing something called fast talk. So they're gonna give us choices, and we have to reply right away without thinking. Ano yung choice namin? All right. So go.
Okay, go.
All right. So for food, sinigang or
Sige. Go.
Sinigang.
Sinigang or yeah.
dinuguan?
Yung
Sinigang.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Ulitin natin. Sinigang or dinuguan? Dinuguan for me.
Sinigang.
Sinigang.
Fab.
Fab. Ano wala si Fab? Hindi siya pwede mag-fast talk. Slow internet. We cannot do fast talk on
Sige, why? Why? Why sinigang?
Oh no.
We're waiting for Fab. Oh, shucks. Anyway, Mary.
I don't eat
Next. Drink.
Yeah.
Coffee, tea, or chocolate? Oh, sorry. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. Coffee.
There.
Ayan. So, coffee. Yay, coffee. Oh.
Omara.
Okay, for chocolate, white or dark?
Dark.
Dark.
Yeah.
20 years ago, white. Pero ngayon, dark na. I don't know what happened.
I don't think you're talking about chocolate, dude.
I was about to say something and then I just closed my
Choco
eyes.
butter. Cocoa butter. Ayoko na ng cocoa butter.
Okay, I'll go next. For men. Do you guys like tall or short?
Men?
Pwede
I'm
women.
tall.
Tall.
I've dated both, but I have to admit I like a tall guy now.
Ah.
I just want to give a disclaimer. I'm also only 5'2". So if I dated a small guy, he would be very, very short. So, because I'm very, very short. So anything above that, to me, is tall.
Very tall.
Okay. Next question. Body parts. Big or small?
What body parts?
I
And
don't know. Body parts. Big.
Ano? Biceps?
Ikaw bahala! Kahit ano!
I don't know.
Ano?
Hindi na tanong mo, big or small eh. Big or small what?
I think, isn't that like a collective na?
Big,
Yeah.
big.
Uh, yeah, I guess. No, I don't know. Perfect fit would be the answer to that.
Why
Not
are
big.
you, we're not talking about that.
In general, no, you have a dirty mind. No, I'm talking about
Perfect fit ng biceps.
perfect fit yung katawan niya. Yung katawan niya, right?
Just fit, not perfect fit.
I'm like 5'4.5", and that's actually tall for a Filipina. So if I date somebody na parang too short, ganon, or parang too bulky, parang I don't fit, which ayoko nang ganon. So I would always go for somebody who fits me perfectly.
Sige.
Wow.
Sure.
Oh, Mara.
Okay,
Sure.
I'm going to the next.
Kay,
Do I do the next?
No, Mara.
Mara, sa'yo yan.
It's all yours.
Okay, kayo bahala if you answer this or
Ayan.
not.
Hmm.
Sex, outdoors or indoors?
Outdoors.
Really? Why?
Why? Because there's the
Sorry,
sun
lady.
and the grass and fresh air and it's wonderful.
Depende sa season. Depends on the
Tama.
pag winter, indoors.
Okay, since you're here, you have to answer all the fast talk questions.
So,
Diba?
Fab, we're on the second
She's
to the
Okay.
Fab na. Fab mo lang.
Can you
Totally.
hear me though? Because my internet is so bad.
Yes. Just answer. We
she's
can hear you.
froze.
Oh, my disappearing again.
Just say outdoors or indoors.
Outdoors, indoors.
You don't need to know the context.
No con. Outdoors, indoors.
Oh my God, Fab.
Well,
Mga Fab.
Outdoors. Ayan.
Ayan, turn off cam siguro.
sige, let's do the last one na.
Oo, let's do last one.
Marika.
Okay, so for lights, do you want it on or off?
On! Sobrang strong ng
On! Yes.
On! Ano kami, pangit? Of course, on.
Ay, Diyos ko.
Diba, hindi ako nag-workout ng often para patayin yung ilaw. So,
Right? They said that, you know what they say about like the woman's body? Like, thin looks good with clothes, but fit looks good naked. So, on. Yeah, therefore.
Right, you
Ayan.
got it, planted.
Yeah.
Fab, are you really back?
Oo.
Fast talk. We're done. All the fast talk.
Oo.
Fab?
Okay ka na?
Fab?
Okay ka na.
Yeah. Yep. I think I can hear you. I think
Food.
yeah.
Sa food. Sinigang or dinuguan?
So far. Dinuguan. I don't eat meat anymore, but dinuguan
Wow.
definitely.
Drink.
The reaction. Coffee. Coffee.
Chocolate, white or dark?
White. Sobrang bagay.
Okay.
Disappoint ako dyan.
Disappoint.
White.
We're at men?
Men.
men, ano daw ba? White or dark?
Men.
Pwede rin, sige. For Fab. Wait.
Tall or short?
OMG. Anong sinasagot ko? Tol. Oh.
Body parts, big or small?
Big.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sex, outdoors or indoors?
My answer's so delay.
Just
Sobrang
answer
hard.
it.
Sorry, guys.
Outdoors
I am
or
answering.
indoors?
Ano ka na mag-sorry? Sumagot ka na lang. Go.
No, I didn't hear the question. I answered. That's
Oh,
the only. That's the only thing I remember being asked. Small or big?
really?
I said big.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's
okay.
fine.
So
Indoors or
for
outdoors?
yeah,
Okay. For what? Oh, indoor.
for
Indoors.
Okay. Lights on or off? Lights.
On.
On.
Definitely.
Okay.
Lights on.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Right.
it's fine. See, it
That was good. That was
we're
fun.
done. We're done.
We went through it. Yay. All right. So we are a 4 minutes in. So I just want to let everybody know again and invite people to go to artstock.com. We are going to be, and also follow us on the different social media platforms. We are always at artstockph. So we are hoping that you can also like and comment and support us, subscribe, follow. But more
Collect.
important, collect art. Yes. More importantly, go to our website and start
Double.
collecting art.
Yes.
Yan. Yun
Our
talaga yun.
website is please collect art at www.artstalkph.com. Our exhibit Hindsight is 2020 featuring these amazing artists that you see on screen is currently available. So please do check it out. Super varied types of works. And for sure, you'll find something that will be perfect for your home or friends, or even just for you if you want to just like stare at it for fun. That's also acceptable. No judgment. Art is for everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank
We should do
you.
drinks next time.
Oo, dapat may drinks na next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Hey.